exclusive access, top leagues and tournaments, and the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals.
It's go time. Time to go. Time to get it. Time to roll. My OGs told me long time ago. Gotta show and prove. Gotta prove and show. It's go time. Time to go. Gotta give everything head to toe. They gave me free game long time ago. You already know. What time is it? Go time. Like magic in the 80s. Showtime. It's time to boss up and put it on the line. And if it's real, you don't need a cosign. Go time. Go time.
Lovely Montreal for the last game before the All-Star break for the Senators and the Canadiens. Claude Giroux scored a pair in Ottawa's 5-0 win over Montreal on Saturday, their third straight victory. Meanwhile, the Habs' Nick Suzuki and company getting used to life without Cole Caulfield out for the season with a right shoulder injury. That's your matchup tonight as we say hello, folks, and welcome to Canadian Tire Senators Hockey here on TSN as we welcome you inside Studio 6. James Duthie alongside Mike Johnson and Darren Drager tonight for one of the toughest games of the year to play, or at least coach. Both of these teams, after this game, most of the guys are off to a beach somewhere. Neither plays again until February the 11th. Think about your last day of work before a vacation. How productive are you? It's tough to focus unless maybe you're a rookie playing in his 4th NHL game. For more on that, Gordon Miller and Jamie McLennan.
And James, there's lots to be excited about for Ottawa of late. The team is scoring more. It's won 3 in a row, and Ridley Gregg looks like he fits right in.
Absolutely, and he's got a base that you have to really be happy about because his father, Mark, played in the National Hockey League, so he knows exactly the details, what it takes to play it at this level. Works very, very hard. He's got underrated skill, but he's got some bite to his game, Gord. That's what's impressive about it for me, is he's not shy to go to the hard areas, and as we've seen in his first couple games, he distributes the puck. And it's a pretty good situation for a guy like Ridley to play with a guy like Claude Giroux, a terrific mentor and somebody I guarantee he looks up to. But he's got all the makings to be a real good player at the National Hockey League level.
Sens won 5-0 on Saturday, 2-0 against the Canadiens this year, and Ottawa's won 4 in a row against Montreal overall. James?
Thank you, boys. And that lineup from the 5-0 win on Saturday remains unchanged tonight against the Habs. Of note, Artem Zub started skating with the team again yesterday. Not playing tonight, but expected to be ready to go after the break, missing his 8th straight game tonight. MJ, you've been through a lot of these nights right before the break. There are many times the MJ private jet was on the runway headed for Turks and Caicos.
Almost always.
How do the guys focus?
It's hard. I mean, quite frankly, you said it. Like, everyone likes a vacation, and nobody likes to work the last day before their vacation. This game tonight is not about physically who's going to be able to win the game. It's more about mentally, emotionally, who's going to be able to focus well enough on the task at hand for the next 3 hours before the much anticipated, because everyone's talking about the vacations, where you going, how you going to get there, where we're going to be, the whole thing. And no one is thinking anything about the game. It's about what's happening tomorrow. So both coaches know it. They've identified it. They're going to try to lock them in and get them prepared for the game as best they can. And maybe one guy that can do that might be Claude Giroux, could help the coach.
I mean, it's obvious, right, as he's played over 1,000 games, how much he loves playing in the National Hockey League, and he's playing so well right now for the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, the points are there, 47 points in 49 games. He's 3rd in the NHL in face-off percentage, behind Jonathan Toews and Patrice Bergeron. He's also closing in on 20 goals for the 9th time in his career, and perhaps most impressively, can he get 30 points in 33 games? If he does, he cracks 1,000 this year. It's doable.
I think he does it. You look at his pace, he's about the same pace there. And it's amazing. Either one would have been enough for Claude Giroux.
Yeah.
The production would have been great value. The leadership alone would have been great value. The fact that he's delivered both really makes that contract stand out as a tremendous signing. So much excitement what Ottawa did this summer. Not all it's come together the way exactly they wanted it to, but Claude Giroux has been can't miss for Ottawa for everything he does on the ice as well as off, for sure.
It's rare that you get the perfect free agent signing, and this was perfect in every way. He comes home and, as you say, gives them exactly what they wanted, which seems
And
like...
they've needed. Like, they've needed his leadership as well as the points.
They are 23, 23, and 3, 8 points out of a playoff spot with a bunch of teams to leapfrog. 33 games left to do it. The starting goaltenders tonight, Anton Forsberg and Jake Allen. Forsberg, of course, that 5-0 shutout on Saturday, second of the season, third of his career. He's going to get some work with Cam Talbot out 3 to 4 weeks. Jake Allen has given up at least 4 goals in 5 of his last 6 starts. To Montreal we go.
Merci. Thank you. Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez maintenant vous lever, retirer chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation de l'hymne national par Alexandre Sylvestre. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats and caps for the singing of the national anthem by Alexandre Sylvestre.
Ô Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front essaie de fleurs glorieux, qu'à ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Welcome to Montreal on a snowy Tuesday night. It's the Canadiens and the Senators for the 3rd time this year. They got one more meeting left this season. Ottawa coming off that 5-0 win on Saturday night. And for Claude Giroux, a 3-game goal-scoring streak puts him at 19 on the year.
Impressive. He's got 5 points as well in that streak, 3 goals and 2 assists. So continues to lead by example on and off the ice. Terrific mentor, but getting it done. And you heard James and Mike talking about it in the opening. Couldn't have been a better signing, a homecoming for Giroux. Now we'll see if he can keep his team focused the night before they're heading off for a little vacation.
Ottawa enters play tonight 8 points behind Pittsburgh for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. With 33 games remaining, Ottawa probably has to win 23 of them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them, Gord, but but this is what they want to do, is play meaningful hockey down the stretch here. You've got a guy like Timmy Stützle who's taken a step. We'll see what he's got tonight.
Faces off against Nick Suzuki. Montreal wearing its reverse retro uniforms tonight, the Baby Blues. They have not been a big hit for the fans or on the ice. They're 0-5-1 in these uniforms.
I kind of like them, though, Gord. I might be in the minority, I guess, when you...
I like them too, but then you like the Islanders fish sticks uniforms too, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't go over so well. We didn't have a winning record in that either.
You were on an island as far as those Islander uniforms were concerned.
I was in the minority, for
Josh
sure.
Anderson sends it in, took a funny bounce in the corner, and Jake Sanderson back to pick it up. Sanderson riding a 3-game point streak as he moves out to Alex DeBrincat, who fires it back down to the Montreal zone. The Canadiens have lost 3 straight. They have 5 wins in their last 18 games. And they've got 10 players on injured reserve at the moment. Thomas Chabot goes back on his 26th birthday. Arbor Jack, guy of the Canadiens, celebrating his 22nd birthday tonight. And here's Chabot with it. Snaps that pass rink wide, and Shane Pinto sends it in. Chabot's birthday actually was yesterday, of course, turning 26. As Pinto plays it back. And I'll move back across to Evgeny Dadonov, who slides that back down to the Ottawa zone. So Ottawa looking towards the playoffs. Montreal thinking more about the rebuild and potential pieces that might be moved at the deadline. Dadonov would be among the top of that list. Alex Belzil drops that back. Jordan Harris a shot that pinballed wide. And now brought back up by Pinto. He scored his first NHL goal against the Canadiens on Carey Price. Also played his first NHL game in this building. 2 separate games. And Tyler Mott picks it up. Mott centers it. And that bounces by Parker Kelly. Travis Hamonic plays it back around. And here's Jake Sanderson on it. Sanderson trying to chip that back. Gambrell pokes it ahead. Dylan Gambrell spins that back down for Tyler Mott. And racing to it is Rafael Harvey Pinard. He got knocked off the puck. Sanderson holds it. Tyler Mott was knocked down in front. He's slow to get to his feet. And Harvey Pinard puts that very high off the glass and back out to center. In comes Travis Hamonic. Long shot. Jake Allen makes the stop and is able to hang on.
Tyler Mott just coming back off of injury. Seems to be shaken up on the bench in some discomfort. Here's what happened originally. He's battling for position in front. Gets the puck. Throws it out front blindly looking for a one-timer. And then 20 seconds later, the stick gets high. He goes down in some discomfort.
Ooh.
As Harris, I think, gets the stick right on the jaw line. He hasn't left the bench, so that's a good sign, but not a good shift for him as far as on the receiving end.
Another face-off win for Claude Giroux. He got knocked down, and Zaitsev put that wide. And here is Ridley Gregg. Drops that back to Chabot. Thus far, Gregg has only assisted on goals by Claude Giroux. Zaitsev shoots. It's a narrow specialty. And Chabot picks it up for Zaitsev. In shoot, scores! Nikita Zaitsev, the shot, picks the top corner. And Ottawa takes a 1-0 lead on Zaitsev's first of the year.
36 games it's been for Nikita Zaitsev. But this is all about the forecheck of the Ottawa Senators. They've had good pace at the start of this game. Puck goes down low. Chabot in, looking for options. Ridley Gregg's going to mirror him, and then back to Zaitsev. He steps in, and you've got a net front presence. See Giroux shaking his hand as he takes a slash in front. Jake Allen doesn't track it. It goes off the post. Gord, you mentioned his first of the season. Nikita Zaitsev gives the Ottawa Senators a 1-0 lead.
I think it might have got off Giroux's hand. Do you think it?
Well, in that case, does Ridley Gregg get an assist? We'll have to add that in. That does. I mean, the way that Allen reacted, he clearly didn't see it. But you're right, it might have gone through the hand of Giroux.
If that's the case, it'll be now they've given the goal to Zaitsev officially as Suzuki picks it up. And here's Mike Matheson with it, up ahead for Rem Pitlick. Ottawa has now scored first in 4 straight games. Montreal's allowed the first goal in 15 of its last 17 games. Tough to dig out of the hole, especially for Montreal, a team that's challenged for goals with so many players out of the lineup. Cole Caulfield will undergo season-ending shoulder surgery this week. Loose puck in front, Stützle in, scores! Tim Stützle on the feed from Joseph, and it's 2-0 Ottawa, 3 minutes and 49 seconds in.
Boy, this all starts in the neutral zone. This is great work, and what a pass by Matthew Joseph to put it on a tee for Stützle in front of the net. He does the rest going short side on Jake Allen, but this is a one battle along the wall. You advance the puck, Tkachuk up to Joseph. Now watch this little spinorama. It goes between the legs of Harris. Stützle gets it on his forehand, and he's able to elevate it immediately before Jake Allen can be set on the play. And the Senators, not even 4 minutes into the game, have a 2-0 lead.
And for Tim Stützle, That'll be 11 goals in the last 18 games for him since returning from injury. And Ottawa with a quick 2-0 lead on Montreal. When you talk about the standings for the Canadiens, you're talking about the inverse idea. They're 7th from the bottom of the NHL standings. As Mike Hoffman works in, Hoffman holds and shoots. Save made by Forsberg, who had the shutout on Saturday night. So the Canadiens right now have about a 6.5% chance of that pick winning the lottery. But don't forget, they also have Florida.
The Florida pick.
From the Ben Sherratt deal. So Florida right now 11th from the bottom. Still gunning for a playoff spot, though. So Montreal could have 2 tickets in the draft lottery. 2-0, Ottawa leads. These key parts of the game are presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Well, for the Ottawa Senators, it's more about playing physical, and we've seen it on display here in the first 5 minutes. And the Montreal Canadiens limit critical errors. Well, we've seen that on display here in the first 5 minutes, as well as being hemmed in their own zone, not taking care of the front of the net. So keys to the game have to be adhered to for both teams.
And the joke among players is you've got 1 foot on the plane. But for Ottawa, you know, when you've got to play basically 670 hockey to make it. If the cut line is 95 points. That's the pace that Pittsburgh's on right now.
Even if they end up in a situation where they've got 85, 87 points, I come back to playing meaningful hockey that gives critical experience to young players in that lineup.
Penalty coming to Ottawa. It's knocked down in center ice by Jake Sanderson. And so Montreal will get the game's first power play. 5 minutes and 23 seconds in.
Ottawa 27, line up for tripping.
Dylan Gambrell goes off for the trip.
It's a long ways away from your net. You don't want to give the Montreal Canadiens any life. Here's take a peek at the penalty. Gambrell just gets over top of the laces of Pezzetta. And here's the first 2 goals of the game. Giroux is actually, it does hit the right-handed Giroux as he's shaking it off. And then Tkachuk up to Joseph, to Stützle, and he elevates that underneath the bar. So that's what a wicked shot.
So assuming they change that to Giroux, and they have now, that's a 20-goal year for Giroux, the 10th of his career. 10 times in the 20-goal mark. There's Doc with it. Kirby Doc drops that down. A little backhand shot by Suzuki. Montreal 1 for 20 on the power play in the last 6 games. So if you look at Montreal's issues, in the last 6 games, they're 1 for 20 in the power play. Yeah. The opposition is 10 for 20 on their power play.
I mean, special teams are so critical in today's game, but that is a microcosm of basically some of their issues.
Kirby Doc moves in, and Matthew Joseph, who scored shorthanded on Saturday night, sends that down. Joseph, 3 goals on the year, 2 of them scored shorthanded, including the only 3-on-5 goal in the NHL this season. Suzuki has it taken away. In comes Joseph, shorthanded again. Matthew Joseph in, stopped by Allen. That would be the shorthanded goal-scoring binge of all time.
What a great save that was by Jake Allen, because Joseph was off to the races. What a great read at his blue line, and he had a step and was in clear.
And away comes Stützle. Stützle comes jumping in, taken off the puck by Justin Barron. Barron, the Halifax native, drops that back for Josh Anderson. Montreal's power play goal scoring lead is Cole Caulfield out of the lineup. He has 7 on the year. Nick Suzuki next has 5. Teed up and off the goalpost goes Ullinen. As Jesse Ullinen, playing his 10th game of the year, tees that up and puts it off the iron and out.
That was a bomb, and you see Matthew Joseph checking out the replay on the Jumbotron as Suzuki tries to take that over the line, runs into his own player. Joseph off to the races. Tries to go backhand, doesn't elevate it. Jake Allen's able to stretch out with that left pad. As Nick Suzuki basically skated in right into Mike Matheson and turned that puck over.
Now Dvorak for the face-off against Parker Kelly, and Kelly wins that. Back to Sanderson. Brought out by Barron. Came over from Colorado in the Arturi Lehkonen deal. Now Stutzla back with it. Shorthand as time winds down to the Gambrell penalty. No shots for Montreal on that power play. As Gambrell steps out, it remains 2-0 Ottawa here. Shots are 4-1 in favor of the Senators. In comes Brady Tkachuk. Moves it on Xhekaj, gets a shot away, and Allen to stop on that.
That was another quality chance in tight as Montreal giving up way too much middle ice.
Michael Pezzetta moves it on Shabbat. Now Xhekaj and the poked away by Batherson. Batherson moves by him. Xhekaj, a great story for Montreal as Pezzetta moves in, shoots. That took the stick out of Shabbat's hands. Xhekaj unpicked through 2 OHL drafts and 3 NHL drafts. Was working at one point at Costco during the pandemic while playing for the Kitchener Rangers, but signed as an undrafted free agent and playing in the top 6 all season for Montreal.
Played very well for them. I know he's had a few bumps in the road, but he's a tough guy, stands up for his teammates, and to me they found some gold there.
Ridley Gregg drops it back for Giroux. Back in the corner for Gregg, who did not get an assist on that first Giroux goal. So Giroux and Stutzla have scored for Ottawa, and Brady Tkachuk almost added to the total on Canadian Tire Senators hockey on TSN.
Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Bell 5 TV, now with voice control and thousands of apps, and by your Ford Dealers of Ontario, proud sponsor and fan of the Ottawa Senators.
Back here in beautiful Montreal, end of January.
Good atmosphere up here.
You know, it's one of the great feelings here is walking into the rink. You know, when you walk to the rink in Montreal, the statues, just the feeling of you're right in the heart of the city.
There's a buzz. Certainly a buzz here.
Kirby Dach moves in, along with Mike Hoffman, the former Senator. And Hamonic out to center ice. Knocked down by Hoffman. For Dach with a couple of goals in the game against Detroit last week. Bank back at the line. Barron a shot. I did Hoffman in front. And Sanderson has it back. For DeBrincat. To Gregg. Up for Alex DeBrincat. Drops it back to Giroux. Looking for a stick in front. That was knocked down by Dadonov. And now Dach falls. Picked up by DeBrincat. 2 former Chicago Blackhawks colliding there. Dach and DeBrincat. Both traded in the offseason.
Both young players, too, part of the really going scorched earth there in Chicago.
Now Shabbat fires it down. Picked up by Jordan Harris. He was a 3rd-round pick by Montreal in 2018. Threw that ahead of an off the skate of Shabbat and bounced away from Anderson, who was busting in. And Batherson backhands that back down to the Montreal zone. Pitlick with it. Lead pass for Brassard. Derek Brassard just missed there by Kovacevic. And Brassard puts that wide. Now Batherson picks it free. Ottawa changing. Goes back to the point. Brannstrom feeds it across. That deflected wide. And the puck goes over the glass and out.
Gord, it's been a battle for the Montreal Canadiens. You mentioned trying to score goals. Well, Saturday night against the Ottawa Senators, they had 3 posts on Anton Forsberg, who put up the 0. And tonight, already 1. This is an absolute laser beam off the crossbar. So sights are a little bit off, but we've mentioned this before, me being a goaltender hugger. A post is not even a shot on goal, technically.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I used to say that to some of the players, but...
Yeah, when they go post it in, what would you say to them?
Well, that's a good goal.
Yeah.
Posting out, not a shot on goal.
Pass from Belzil. Hit that discarded stick at the blue line. Brought in by Stutzla for Tkachuk. Back to Tim Stutzla. Shoots! That goes wide. Nick Holman holds the line here. James Duthie mentioned that Artem Zub skated with the Senators today. Should be good to go after the All-Star break. This is the 3rd of 5 straight for Ottawa against Canadian teams. Their next one's against Edmonton at home after the break. In comes David Savard. And Savard spins him from the corner. Watched there by Joseph. From a sharp angle he shoots. That's blocked by Holden. Played back down to Belzil, who made his NHL debut in the bubble in the 2020 playoff bubble in Toronto. Played his first NHL game in Game 4 against Pittsburgh. Montreal won it, knocking Pittsburgh out of the playoffs that year. Strange experience for him. He'd never really been around the NHL team except in training camp. Then he goes to this sort of hermetically sealed environment where seven other NHL teams are staying in the same hotel. He's walking around Sidney Crosby's in the hotel restaurant.
Very unique.
And now Suzuki taking down, penalty coming to Ottawa. Dvorak centers, and that's knocked away by Mott. And Justin St. Pierre makes the call. This is a pileup in the corner. Chris Weidman, former center, in the middle of that. But that was a pretty clear break there.
Yeah, that would. You have to make this play because this would have been a 2-on-0.
Suzuki taken down, and Montreal back to the power play. Entire Senators hockey next Saturday face-off between the Oilers and the Senators. Connor McDavid in Ottawa. Puck drops at 12:30 Eastern, 1:30 Atlantic on TSN in the Sens region.
Sens faithful in the house, making the trek. I mean, this is a big rivalry.
Yeah,
not that far down the road.
Goes back to the birth of the Senators. Their first ever game was against Montreal. They won it. A bitter playoff encounter a few years ago.
Yeah.
But in this triangle, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, you get lots of fans from the other team in your building.
Yeah.
Doc says that that's knocked down and swept ahead by Kelly as once again Ottawa is shorthanded.
Sens doing a really good job jamming up Montreal's entry, holding the line, forcing them to try and carry it in or dump it in.
Dadonov plays it back to Matheson. Mike Matheson swings that rink wide to Hoffman. And Mike Hoffman banks that back for Matheson. Winds his way in, drops it back off to Hoffman for Dadonov. Hoffman. Val hollering for his shot as Hoffman banks that back to Matheson. Rink wide, he goes to Doc. Doc back down to Suzuki. He was tied up in the corner by Zaitsev. Played across. Hoffman shoots. He was trying to find a stick there. Took wide by Doc. Doc moves back to Matheson. Swings it back, and the shot by Hoffman goes off the foot of Sanderson. Dadonov keeps it alive. Sanderson limping after that shot block. Here's Matheson with it. Feeds it back. Up, but a hard shot. He rattled it high off the glass. Matheson shoots, goes off the skate of Dadonov. Sanderson still limping. Battles there with Hoffman for it. Here's Dadonov. Swings it back around for Suzuki. At the point is Matheson. Suzuki. The goal line, Doc. Kirby Doc. Brings that back, Matheson to Hoffman. Back to Matheson. Hoffman tees it up and shoots. Tip back in front. Great stop by Forsberg. Suzuki jams it and they score. Kirby Doc on the rebound. A power play goal gets Montreal on the board.
Montreal with some extended pressure on the power play, good puck movement. Initially, Anton Forsberg's going to make a good save on the redirect in front, right there on Suzuki, but Suzuki sticks with it. It's a bouncing puck, and Doc gets the puck that it slid right between the 5-hole of Forsberg. There's the battle. Zaitsev a little late on the play to battle Suzuki in front. And a loose puck, Kirby Doc's able to jam it home to make this a 2-1 game as Montreal scores a rare goal on the power play.
So for Kirby Doc, that's 6 goals now in his last 12 games. He's heating up. And 8 of his 11 this year have been scored right here in Montreal. But the Canadiens' power play gets a much-needed boost. 1 for his previous 21.
Well, it's 32nd in the National Hockey League. Your trigger guy in Cole Caulfield's been shut down for the season, so it's been an uphill battle for them, but looked pretty good on that one. I thought the Senators did a good job of forcing everything to the outside, and Jake Sanderson had taken that shot off the left foot.
Now fired down by Holden. So Montreal does tonight what it couldn't do on Saturday. As Shabbat shoots, Allen makes a stop, but that's get back after some early goals by Ottawa.
FanDuel and the NHL are changing your hockey experience. Bet on the first team to 5 shots on goal. Make every NHL moment more. FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook.
Sens looking for an instant response. Matthew Joseph puts it on a tee for Thomas Chabot, who steps right into the middle of the ice. Now Jake Allen at the top of his crease, able to absorb that as Chabot gets a pretty good shot away from a grade A scoring opportunity to keep this at 2-1.
Jake Allen returned to the lineup last week after missing 8 to injury.
Sam Maltenbaum had carried the load during that time, played very well. Played in 9 of 10 games. But I think he's a pretty good young goaltender. But in this situation, he's been under siege.
Now Chabot shoots at the leg in front. Greg couldn't find it. Talked about so many Ottawa players who are the sons of former NHL players. Yeah. Ridley Gregg's dad, Mark, was drafted before any of them. Picked before Keith Tkachuk of the 1990 draft.
I played junior with Mark. I know the family very well, him and his wife Cindy, and yeah, Ridley's a special kid. And
he got hurt last August in the World Junior Championship in Edmonton, the delayed one. Yeah. Hurt his shoulder, so that set back the start of his year, but had a very good year in Belleville before he was being called up. And Chabot brings it ahead. And another piece up front that gives Ottawa some interesting options and some depth.
Absolutely.
Patterson slides that back. Brandstrom feeds it across, sights and shoots. Allen makes a stop on that. And more pushing and shoving breaks out up to the whistle here.
I like the emotion, Gord. Both these teams could have mailed it in.
They're getting a little chipped, as Jimmy likes to say.
A little chippy.
2-1 Ottawa leads here in the first. Georgie, the president and GM of the St. John Sea Dogs, Thomas Chabot's old junior team, came by to present him with a jersey and announced that he will be inducted to the Sea Dogs Hall of Fame, along with New York Rangers coach Gerard Gallant and his assistant Mike Kelly. So the class of 23, that's the significance of the number 23 for Chabot. And so today, as a tribute, in his morning availability, Brady Tkachuk.
Pretty cool. It's a nice
on his. He fills it out pretty well, doesn't he? Without shoulder pads on.
Exactly. Got him a legitimate size there. He jammed right into there. But look at how young Thomas Chabot looks in that picture.
They won a Quebec League title in 2017. Matthew Joseph was his teammate with St. John that year.
Impressive. Congratulations to Thomas. Well deserved.
Here's Anderson with it. Drops that back. Barron across to Matheson, feeds it in. Suzuki, a sharp angle shot, goes off the side of the goal. This is a streak of 9 games out of 10 at home for Montreal. As Pinto banks it ahead. That'll end with the Islanders coming here after the break a week from Saturday.
With newly acquired Bo Horvat.
Yes.
Starting to see some trade action potentially heating up.
Now picked up by Kelly. Back he goes to Hamonic. Hamonic snaps it across to Sanderson. Sanderson showing no ill effects from that shot block earlier. Feeds that back ahead. Jack-Eye. A hard bump on Mott, who's shaken up again. Tyler Mott was shaken up earlier. Stays out there. Now gets another hard shot from Jack-Eye and another. And those two continue jousting in the corner. Gambrell plays it back in. And Mott's had just about enough of Jack-Eye. As Dadonov goes after it, Mott steps into him. And Mott will make his way to the Ottawa bench once again on the limp.
That's another physical shift for Tyler Mott.
Here's Kelly with it. Plays that back to Sanderson. Zaitsev, who had that puck tipped in by Giroux earlier, plays it ahead for Joseph. Slides it back across to Tkachuk. In for Stutzel. The pass is in the equipment of Belzile, who knocks it down. Belzile was 28 when he made his NHL debut in the 2020 playoffs. He played for 8 teams in 8 years in the minors prior to that. A real story of perseverance and sticking with it. As Stützle moves in. Stützle drops it back to Chabot. In comes Thomas Chabot with a jump in his step. Plays it back to Zaitsev. Back across. Stützle works in, shoots, and Allen makes a stop on that.
What a great play here by Tim Stützle, showing his skill set. But everybody knows he's going to shoot that puck, but little delay, curl, and drag. That gets Pezzetta to bite on it. He gets a clear lane. And go back to Tyler Motte, the physical shift. Jack-Eye leaning on him, and see Motte in some discomfort. Shakes it off, gets right back into the play. He's able to absorb more contact and gives Jack-Eye a little bit extra. And you see him get to the bench and hunched over. He's had a couple tough shifts physically early on in this game.
Now Doc brings it out, fires that back into the Ottawa zone. Left there by Ylönen, whose dad was known as Ylonen when he played in the NHL, but his son has gone with the traditional Finnish pronunciation. In comes Gregg with a chance. Poke check there by Allen. Great feed by Claude Giroux. And those two have had instant chemistry. You watch them in the warm-up. You see them in the morning skate. They're always talking. Now picked up by Batherson. Ottawa's changing as Batherson moves in. Swings that rink wide for Shane Pinto, who bats that down. Moving in on Anderson. Now Brassard. Back to Chabot. Brings it back across and a sharp angle shot taken there by Zaitsev. And the save is made by Allen.
You talked about the chemistry between Claude Giroux and Ridley Gregg. Sends him in alone. Now it's good work. Giroux just slides it through the middle of the ice. Gregg keeps his feet moving, tries to take it from backhand to forehand. Matheson at the last second is able to take a swipe. Right there, go stick on puck. Gregg looking for a little bit of a penalty, maybe a potential hook, but some chemistry, as you mentioned, Gord, between the youngster and Claude Giroux. And there is history, obviously, with Ridley's dad, Mark, working for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Chabot back, and icing called against Montreal.
Gregg, to me, is the whole package. He's a guy who's got some bite, jam to his game, got some skill. A lot like I mentioned before, I played with his dad junior. Mark was a very skilled player.
He was drafted with the first-round pick that Ottawa got from the Islanders in the Jean-Gabriel Pageau deal.
You're stockpiling assets, and it's about what you do with those draft picks.
And you see the conversation continuing with Giroux and Gregg. Now Stützle with a chance, just misfired on that. Anderson brings it back out and finds Suzuki. In comes Suzuki for Pitlick. That pass just missed. In behind the goal is Rem Pitlick. Crunched there by Chabot. Tkachuk on it. Plays it back down, picked off by Suzuki. Here's Anderson. Back for Jordan Harris. Plays that back in. Suzuki gets bumped there by Zaitsev. Harris back across. Anderson shoots at deflected wide. Pitlick pulls that free, but Chabot knocks it away. Zaitsev off the boards to Stützle. And the bouncing puck goes to Batherson. Up ahead for Chabot, who leads the rush for Ottawa. In comes Chabot on Kovacevic, trying to center it. That was knocked away by Kovacevic. Stützle in the final minute now of the period. Here is Giroux, now tied for the Ottawa goal-scoring lead with 20, even with Tim Stützle. And that shot by Holden goes off a stick, up and out of play, and Tkachuk gets a bump there from Kovacevic.
Kovacevic didn't like that, but Tkachuk giving him a little extra into the net. Little battle for position in front of the net, no problem. Puck's going to elevate now. Both are guilty for getting their sticks up, and there's the little shoulder from Tkachuk right into the grill, letting him know he's in one. I like the physicality, I like the emotion early on, because as James and MJ were talking about before the game, this could have been an easy mail-it-in type of game.
Face-off won by Giroux, and a shot fired wide by Sanderson. Hamonic shoots, Allen the save. And the rebound picked up by Doc. Doc around to Savard. Up ahead to Hoffman, who chips it back down to the Ottawa zone. That skipped away from Forsberg. And Sanderson gathers it up. Long lead pass at center ice to Giroux. Crisscrossing with DeBrincat. Giroux holds. DeBrincat sends it back across. Greg with a great chance. Allen came across and made the stop.
What an unbelievable play. Pass by DeBrincat, and Greg got all of it, but what a save by Jake Allen.
Here's Doc with it. Craig still looking for his first NHL goal. Doc taken down by Shabbat. And the rink-wide pass goes to DeBrincat in the final seconds of the long shot, steered away by Jake Allen. And Ridley Gregg came that close to his first NHL goal.
What a great play as it develops in the neutral zone. Drew with patience slides it down to DeBrincat right through the seam on the back door. And now it's a crossbody one-timer for Ridley Gregg. But he gets a lot of this, and Jake Allen reads it and gets across at the last second. Desperation with the blocker to keep that out and keep him away from his first career goal.
2-1 Ottawa lead. It's time for our first intermission with your host, James Duffy.
Sitting beside me and getting ready to talk about the first 20. We'll also look ahead to what the Sens may or may not do at the deadline. All of that coming up right after this. In Montreal, the Sens up 2-1.
Puck goes down low. Shabbat in, looking for options. Ridley Gregg's going to mirror him, and then back to Zaitsev. He steps in, and you've got a net, a slash in front. Jake Allen does it here.
It looks like Ottawa is as confident as it's been all year. What's your perspective on it?
Yeah, no, you know what? It's good. I think we're starting to get a little swagger, a little bit more, I think, with the puck, and we're making a lot more plays. I think that gives us a lot more ozone time, and the good thing about that is when you're in the ozone, you don't need to defend. So I think if we keep doing that for another 40, I think we should have a good night.
I know it's always special for you to play here, but especially today when the St. John Sea Dogs announced that they'll honor you in their Hall of Fame. How do you feel about it?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a huge honor. I mean, I didn't expect that at all coming in this morning, but obviously it's pretty special. St. John is where it all started. Met so many great people, the billets, the teammates, the friends. There's so many memories coming from there, and obviously winning the championship on the last year. I mean, so many great things to say about that place. So obviously big honor this morning, and I was very happy about that.
How do you reflect on the player you are now as opposed to how you were then?
I mean, obviously, I'd like to think I'm a bit more complete. Obviously playing against the top lines here. Obviously not that I wasn't doing that in junior, but I mean, in junior you didn't have to work as hard, obviously, but I mean, it's been a good challenge, it's been a good road, and I'm enjoying every minute up here and down there.
Thanks, Thomas. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And besides that championship, biggest junior moment, remember the gold medal game against the U.S. in Montreal, where he was unbelievable. Charlie McAvoy and Thomas Chabot, the two best players on the ice by far. There's Mike Johnson, there's Darren Dreger. Before we get to the meat of that first period, tell us why you hate the Montreal powder blue sweaters.
Yeah, so they're not bad to look at, but when I played in Montreal, I was on the third line all year long. First line wore red in practice, second line wore white in practice. Guess what the third line wore? Every single day, powder blue, waiting in my stall. I was desperate to get out of the powder blue. I never could. So every time I see it.
No powder blue golf shirts? None of that?
None of that. No. All I can see is practice.
There's like a visceral reaction every
it's
time
like
they show
another
up.
practice jersey, and you know how much I like practice.
We talked about the vacation looming here, and it seemed like maybe those powder blue jerseys were already thinking about ocean blue in the early minutes against Ottawa.
Well, maybe they were, or maybe just Ottawa was plugged in. I think you give Ottawa credit for coming out, playing with intensity, being focused, really being on top of their game. And when you're playing the way you want, you get to the areas you have to go to make things happen. That's in front of the net. There's Tyler Mott early, just eating a cross-check from Harris, but doesn't get a penalty. But right after that, Claude Giroux, not surprisingly, goes right back to the front of the net. He's battling with Big Jack Eye, and he gets credited with a goal that actually goes in off his hand as he's trying to get out of the way as Zaitsev buzzes the tower right by his chin. But it's symbolic of getting to the spots you need to go to, being locked in mentally and engaged physically in a game where it's not easy to do.
We've watched Tim Stützle this year go from a guy with unbelievable potential to a guy who's really becoming a star in front of our eyes. That finish was terrific, but was the pass better from Matthew Joseph?
Well, he's being given an opportunity here tonight on the big line with the Ottawa Senators. Not that far removed from the doghouse, right? So DJ Smith is kind of hitting the reset button. Have a look at the shoulder check coming up here by Matthew Joseph. So there's the pass. Here's the look. So he's identifying that Tim Stützle has the seam. He's going to the net. So why not? The spinorama on the offensive blue line. It's perfectly executed to Stützle, and he tucks it up and over the shoulder under the bar. And then you see Matthew Joseph in the neutral zone. This is on the penalty kill. We know he can skate. He can flat out fly. Jake Allen gets the better of him there on that opportunity. He's not happy about it. He feels like he should have had that goal. But do you expect that from Matthew Joseph every single period? When given an opportunity, he needs to take advantage of that, and he has in the first.
I wonder if playing with a Tkachuk and a Stützle helps get his game going offensively, because he had a great run when he got there last year, got the big extension, but hasn't really put it together offensively. And that little look, that little play is kind of something that's been missing from his game, where he has that straight line speed, the good defensive awareness, but the fine plays and awareness to make those passes with high-end players doesn't always show it. Maybe he's growing into it now.
So at 2-0 early, it starts to look like maybe a repeat of Saturday in the 5-0 Ottawa win. How did Montreal at least get back in it?
Well, they supercharged the league's worst power play and said, okay, you know what? What do we know? And Ottawa should know this way. Mike Hoffman can shoot the puck past goaltender. So they tee him up. Now, Sanderson makes the great block. But they know if it goes on a Hoffman stick, now you're going to overcommit to the block. And he pumps another one through. But it keeps coming over here, and they keep letting the puck get there. And eventually, Hoffman starts looking for better options because Sanderson's out in that shot lane, so eventually he gets for the shot pass down to the front of the net. Scramble, it's a 2-on-0. Kirby Dach with a quick stick gets it in, but good awareness by Montreal from a very bad power play to get the puck in the shooter's stick. And Hoffman, who's made a career out of making good decisions on the power play, doesn't shoot it past the goalie, but looks for a pass because it was available.
And now we keep an eye on Jake Sanderson, right? Clearly that stung him in the shot block. He was a little sheepish on the next one, so we'll see how he plays.
I'd be sheepish too. I wouldn't even pretend. Go ahead.
Hey, we saw you duck on one between the benches pretty good the other night in the Leafs
Like a
game.
career out of getting out of the way, James.
When we return, we'll look forward to the deadline. Pierre Dorion, he's been very busy at numerous recent deadlines. A panel on his most pressing issues this year. Stands right now, and you're fully aware, Senators fans, 8 points out of a playoff spot. But look at all those teams they have to play Frogger and get by to get into a wild card spot, which makes it a little bit awkward. It's that neverland you don't want to be in, where you're not really in the playoff race just yet. You still have time. And you're not bad enough to be in the Bedard race right now. The Senators are too good for that. And so it makes it fascinating at the deadline, where you're not clear sellers like they have been the last few years in this rebuild. So how does Pierre Dorion handle this?
Well, I think he's willing to be busy, right? But the majority of his busyness is likely going to be attached to his crop of pending unrestricted free agents. And we just showed the Tyler Mott clip as part of the Giroux sequence. Well, there's a player I'm sure that will have some interest from a depth perspective. And you look at some of the other guys, when Cam Talbot comes back healthy, he's 3 to 4 weeks away from that. You know, could a team be looking for insurance in goal? They've got some pieces defensively that could attract a draft pick. Really the biggest name that people are wondering about, and I'm sure Dorion is getting calls on, is Alex DeBrincat. Now, he's a restricted free agent. It seems highly unlikely that the Sens will trade him between now and March 3rd, but there hasn't been any negotiating on a contract extension. Maybe that falls in the lap of new ownership, so that drifts into the offseason, but he's such a good fit in Ottawa that I'm sure Ottawa would like to extend him.
Well, you're going to need to know.
Yeah.
Because if you can't, you probably should trade him. And maybe you should trade him now, because a team acquiring him for 2 playoff runs might pay you a little bit more than just 1. He's in the Matthew Tkachuk situation, where 1 year remaining until he's an unrestricted free agent. He could kind of dictate where he wants to go and how he wants to make that work out. But it's one of those things, like, he's been there 4 or 5 months now. You should have a sense. Yeah. And if you don't, maybe that's message enough.
What about this eternal search for the other top 4 defensemen?
Like, whatever they're going to do in the next month, it has to be for next year. Don't bring anyone in who's going to help you this year. Right. Despite your 8 points in 8 teams, they got to skip over. Yeah. Chase that right shot defenseman while there's activity. If you get a pending UFA, only if you can extend them, like a Matt Dumba, then that's what they should be doing, and shot before hard. It's been a year and a half.
Yeah,
gotta find it.
And Dorion is open to that, as long as it doesn't cost you Ridley Gregg, Shane Pinto, or one of their young people.
But at some point, you need it. Yeah. Right? Like, I know you don't want to give those guys up, but if you can't make the playoffs without it, What are you going to do?
Have to have it for the start of next season. Have to have a serious upgrade there at some point. We have a second period ahead for you. The Sens with a 2-1 lead over Montreal. We'll take one more break and get you back to Gordon Miller and Jamie McLennan.
By Ontario Ford Dealers, proud fan and partner of the Ottawa Senators. Claude Giroux gets his 20th of the year. That's 10 20-goal seasons for him in his NHL career. Tim Stützle, his 21st. And Kirby Dach gets his 11th on the power play to respond for Montreal. So when you talk about the Ottawa Senators, you talk about a guy like Claude Giroux who's brought so much veteran leadership, but you're also talking about the 2020 draft, which already has reaped great rewards for the Senators.
Well, you're right. You're seeing it on display tonight. You take a look at their body of work. Yes, it's impressive, 232 games so far for Senators picks in 2020, but Tim Stützle is a star. Jake Sanderson, I believe, is a star, and Ridley Gregg is going to be a fantastic player. We're just seeing a small sample size of his body of work, what he's able to do. I will say this, never again do I want a virtual draft.
No.
Because it's nice to have it in person. You get excited. Now, I recognize a few faces on that one with the Gregg family. It's impressive. There's his mom, Cindy, and Mark in the background. And there's a Ridley Gregg pillow.
A sofa cushion.
Impressive. And
is there a Jamie McLennan sofa cushion back in the family homestead at St. Albert?
I hope not. It'll be all old and ratty. They probably let an animal sleep on it. But either way, it's impressive what the 2020 draft has just shown for the Ottawa Senators.
And there's more to come. Roby Järventie, a second-round pick, that also part of the Pajot deal. He's showing well. Tyler Kleven to North Dakota. As Anderson shoots and a quick pad save made by Forsberg. Goalie Levi Merilainen as well. He was acquired from a draft pick from the Dylan DeMello trade with Winnipeg. So lots to like already about the 2020 draft and more to come potentially down the pipeline. And Montreal looking to try to do the same kind of thing with 2 first-round picks for the upcoming draft and loads of picks after that.
And already young people on the team, guys like Suzuki and Caulfield, and Jack Eye now is a piece that they want to at least have in their core. So
now brought back by Matthew Joseph, moving in and shoots. And Savard going to stick on that to knock it away. Back at the point is Chabot. Flies right in. Little backhand shot, and Jake Allen makes the glove save.
Wow. How about the St. John Sea Dogs having a shift here? Jake Allen, little smile on his face as he takes a peek back and enjoying it. This is a beautiful pass by Stützle. You've got Joseph with speed last second. It's poked away by Savard through the seam. Now it's Chabot's turn. A little curl and drag. Backhand tries to go underneath the bar, and Jake Allen rips it out of the air. Putting on a show here in Montreal, feeling it, knowing that they've got a couple periods left before they get a healthy break.
Well, I think for Ottawa, you're looking at a 3-game winning streak, trying to win 4 in a row for the 3rd time this year. And call a little closer to Pittsburgh, keep the pressure on. There's teams that jump over.
Well, you want to give yourself a chance to stay right in the mix.
Dach back on it. Montreal, by the way, has 11 picks in the 7 rounds of the upcoming draft as it stands right now. Nice shot by Jack Guy goes off the glass and out of play.
Chabot and Kirby Dach get tied up in front. Extended conversation, and Chabot's going to go.
Another penalty to Montreal, or to Ottawa rather.
It's another opportunity for the Canadians.
So the first 3 power plays of the game have gone to Montreal.
So a high stick on Thomas Chabot as he's battling for position with Kirby Dach in front. Doing a good job trying to box out, but he just falls. When he falls, the stick swings through the visor of Dach.
So the Canadians scored in their last power play. And a chance to pull even here as Giroux gets tossed. And Kelly will take the draw against Suzuki. Wins that back for Matheson. Swings it back across. And here is Dach. Feeds down to Suzuki. Back for Dach. Matheson shoots. It got through, and Forsberg makes the stop with Suzuki standing right there looking for a loose puck.
It's a really good save by Anton Forsberg. He does a good job of tracking the puck through traffic. You mentioned Nick Suzuki right at home. A little saucer pass right back to the point. Suzuki looking for any type of loose change. That drops down. Suzuki's wide open to curl and drag that and go right around Forsberg. So good job of holding on to that puck for the whistle.
Now Suzuki toss, so Doc comes in against Pinto. And the draw goes back to Zaitsev, plays it around to Sanderson. Sanderson moves that to center ice as Mott knocks it down. And Matheson back with it. Montreal native Mike Matheson had a good year in Pittsburgh last year, scored a career high 11 goals. Came over in the Jeff Petrie trade with the Penguins. Here comes Dadonov, swings that back around. Gambrell reaching for it. Here's Dadonov taken down by Hamonic. Play continues. And Mott moves the puck back down to the Canadian zone.
Canadians faithful thought that there should have been a 5-on-3 situation as Dadonov was battling for position with Hamonic.
Suzuki slides it out of Dadonov. He and Holden collide. And Zaitsev back on it. 45 seconds to go in the Montreal power play. Here's Matheson with it. Matheson brings it back across, and that shot tipped wide from Weidman. Suzuki centers it, hopping at the goal post. Another post hit by Montreal, this time on the power play. Suzuki back with it. Tees it up again for Hoffman, out of his reach, gathers it back. Hoffman fires, and that's knocked away by Forsberg. And finally, Kelly sends it down the ice. 20 seconds to go in the Montreal power play.
That's 5 posts in the last 2 games for the Montreal Canadiens, and that was an absolute laser beam by Mike Hoffman, and sends fans aware of where he likes to shoot the puck from.
In comes Dvorak with it, shovels it across to Ullinen. He was poke checked there by Sanderson. 2 shots and a post for Montreal in that power play. Remains 2-1 Ottawa. Now right in front is Pitlick, holds and shoots, and Forsberg got a piece of that. Then Pitlick was all alone in the slot, and Forsberg made the stop. Mott out of the penalty box goes to Giroux, crisscrossing with Stützle. Giroux for Mott, that's poked away by Dvorak. Savard back around for Jack-Eye. Arbor Jack-Eye looks ahead for Pitlick. Ullinen has that knocked away by Holden as Eric Brandstrom goes back. Brandstrom scored his first NHL goal against Montreal on Carey Price. As Brandstrom drops it back to Giroux, walks in and shoots, and Allen got just the tip of his glove on that. Holden shoots, it's off a stick over the glass and out of play.
A couple of quality chances for the Canadians on that power play. And Mike Hoffman's going to get the puck right through the seam. It's a one-timer. He hammers that. You clearly hear it hit the post. And then an opportunity again is Forsberg does a good job of taking away that high glove, bounces off the glove, and then Pitlick almost has too much time. Watch where Forsberg is. He's a foot outside of his blue paint because Pitlick almost, it's a standoff. And Forsberg outweights and Pitlick tries to go 5-hole at the last second.
Savard snaps that pass ahead. Harvey Pinard moves it in. And Holden goes in carefully on Pezzetta. Picked back up. Oh, the shot. Forsberg gets a piece of that. Harvey Pinard tied up by Brandstrom. And Holden throws it right in front. That's cleaned up by Ridley Gregg really quickly as the puck was bouncing right in front of Forsberg. DeBrincat moves in. And Allen finds Savard. Savard up ahead for Pezzetta. And Forsberg out to play it. 13-8, the shots on goal in favor of Ottawa. Chabot taken down and shaken up again. And a penalty coming to Montreal.
It's going to be a trip on Thomas Chabot.
That pass misfires for Batherson. And as Montreal touches up, Ottawa will get its first power play 5 minutes and 11 seconds into the second period.
Harvey Pinard's going to get it tripping on Chabot. Here's an opportunity, and Anton Forsberg's on the top of his game. Turnover, waiting, gets a blocker on it. That might have hit Holden, but then another opportunity, good presence of mind. The puck's going to come right through his crease. He pokes it away, and here's the penalty right there. skate on skate that sends Chabot down. And he gets up gingerly. He had the back uncomfortness last game.
Yeah. Ottawa has scored power play goals in 3 straight. We mentioned a penalty killing has been a problem for Montreal. They've allowed 10 power play goals for the last 20 opposition chances.
Just trying to debate if uncomfortedness is a word.
It's not.
It's probably not.
Discomfort, I think, is probably a little more streamlined version.
Lack of comfort in the back.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Here's the break-in. Trying to swing that rink wide, and Doc got in the way and moves it back to center right.
We're going to go with discomfort.
Discomfort, yeah, I think just fits nicely.
We've decided in-house.
Stützle lines through center, drops it off to Batherson. To Chabot. Up for Tkachuk. Shoots! Just missed wide. Batherson leads the way with 11 power play goals for Ottawa. Stützle next with 7. And here is Stützle, who regained the team goal-scoring lead with his 21st in the first period. Stützle swings that back to Chabot. Cross to Batherson. Batherson banks that back to Stützle. Swings that back to Batherson. Across he goes to the break it. Walks right in, shoots, and Allen got the tip of his glove on that as well. Picked up by Batherson, holds, slides it back to Chabot. Back to Stützle. To the goal mouth he goes, Batherson. Swings that back to Chabot. Got a lane, swings it back to Stützle. Batherson feeds it back across. Oh, stopped by Allen. Took it away from the break, and the puck still loose. Bounces back in front. Batherson pulls it free. It's finally moved out. What a save by Jake Allen.
That was an unbelievable. He dragged that right off the goal line. That was a for sure goal. You see the truck almost looking up at the Jumbotron, looking for the replay immediately.
Now Greg moves in. 2 shots for Ottawa on that power play, and a great save by Jake Allen. Pinto drops it back to Greg. Ridley, Greg centers it, bouncing puck goes to Pinto. Pinto for Brassard, tipped it wide. Here's Giroux with it. Claude Giroux moves in as the power play's over. Giroux winds across the top, finds Sanderson. Giroux makes his way off as Sanderson goes to Greg, to Hamonic. Shoots, that's tipped wide. And picked up by Raphael Harvey-Pinard. That's a hit for Belzil. And a race for icing waved off as Hamonic goes back. And Greg tries to work that free, does for Sanderson. Moved ahead for Kelly. Tied up along the boards. Now Pittman back with it. Wrap around, try for Mott. Kelly with a chance and a pad save by Allen. Jake Allen's been terrific here in the second period.
Both goaltenders, but Jake Allen has had 2 10-bell saves in a row for the Canadiens.
Now Pittman back the other way. Moves in on Gambrell. Montreal changing. Here's Brandstrom with it. Chip back in front. Pittman with a chance. Forsberg the save. Anderson gathers up the rebound. Forsberg lost his goal stick. Quickly gathers it back up. Here's Barron back at the point. Barron. Allen centered it, bouncing puck. And Harris couldn't reach it. Here's Barron back with it. Back down to Harris. Barron plays it across. Anderson a hard shot. Forsberg the save. He knocks away the rebound. Tired players on the ice for Ottawa now. And finally, Forsberg freezes that. Great chances at both ends of the rink, but the goaltenders stand tall. It remains a 2-1 lead for Ottawa, but Jake Allen absolutely robs Kelly right there. And Forsberg follows with this.
Put on in both ends. This save, that's a 1v1, Gord, ripping right off the goal line, and then Parker Kelly in tight. And not to be outdone, it's Anton Forsberg at the other end with the glove. And then in tight on Anderson. Some great work by both goaltenders to keep this score at 2-1.
Shots 18-10 in favor of Ottawa, but Jake Allen's been terrific. It's not just quantity for the Senators, but some quality as well, as Gregg moves in. Ridley Gregg at 26 goals in 39 games last year for the Brandon Wheat Kings. DeBrincat sends it back in. Giroux pokes it around to Gregg. Here's Gregg loose behind the goal. Back for Sanderson. And the pass comes out to Hamonic. Mike Matheson wheels back in these reverse retros for Montreal, which are a bit of a tip of the cap to the Montreal Expos, the light blue uniforms.
I like them, but
I'm a former Expo fan. I was always an Expo fan, but in comes Stützle now with Joseph. Stützle pivots back as Ottawa gets fresh D on the ice. Stützle spins and shoots. That's tipped in front by Tkachuk, and Allen makes the save on that.
Hyundai SUVs are made for those who drive hockey. We make WA.
Brady Tkachuk getting an opportunity in front as he gets inside position on Mike Matheson. Little redirect. That actually goes down between the legs of Jake Allen.
Jake Allen allowed 2 goals in the first 3 shots he faced in the game. He stopped all 16 since.
He's been rock solid. This could be a 4 or 5-1 game right now with quality of shots that he's faced.
Jordan Harris spins back as Brassard steps into him. Now Chabot has to retreat with Josh Anderson sending it ahead. He puts it back down to the Montreal zone where Harris is back to pick it up. Anderson, rink wide pass for Kovacevic. In comes Anderson. Pivots back along the board, sends it back in deep. And Suzuki on it. Tried to center it, bounces back in front. Harvey Pinard couldn't get a shot away. And Matheson bats it back to center. Past the midway point of the second period. Third of 4 meetings between these 2 teams this year. Montreal has lost the first 2 to Ottawa and 4 straight overall. Suzuki. Back along the board, tied up by Tkachuk. And Pinto kicks that, but not out. Pitlick works it back for, and it's tipped away by Zaitsev. Another penalty coming to Ottawa. Suzuki plays it back across. And so Montreal is going back to the power play. A high sticking call will go against Thomas Chabot, who goes off again. 9:07 to go here in the second period. Thomas Chabot whistled again as Montreal goes to the power play on Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN. Basketball continues Friday as the Raps head to Houston to run with the Rockets. Teams take the court at 7:30 Eastern, 8:30 Atlantic on TSN. A big crowd here in Montreal will watch the Canadians on the power play. Suzuki wins a face-off back to Matheson. Hoffman swings it across. Dog with a hard shot saved by Forsberg. And that puck goes over the glass. They say it deflected, and there'll be no extra penalty. Crowd thought it went straight out, and Martin St. Louis wants a discussion.
It looked like it got a piece of a stick. Initial good save by Forsberg as he gets across with traffic in front, Dadonov. And then right there, Dadonov trying to go stick on puck. And he's not arguing it, so he knows that he got a piece of that.
Matheson back across to Hoffman. 4th power play for Montreal. Matheson shoots, tries to find a stick, goes through everyone. Bounces back to Suzuki. The Canadiens captain. To Doc. Back to Suzuki. Doc works it back in front. Bouncing puck picked up by Kelly. And Parker Kelly tough played his backhand, couldn't clear it out. Back in the corner is Doc. Sanderson bumps into him. Again, Ottawa can't clear it out. Picked up. And hammering that shot was Hoffman. Good save by Forsberg. Hoffman's had some good looks here on the power play. Hit a goal post earlier. A good stop there by Forsberg.
Did he ever get all of that? Forsberg in real good position.
He usually does.
Yeah.
And that puck is under Travis Hamonic, and he was being pitchforked as they tried to knock him Parker Kelly.
Well, both of them were in the corner on the battle. You're right. At one point, Kelly ends up down, and you're right, they're pitchforking him, trying to get that puck loose. I mentioned Mike Hoffman gets all of this. This is his little seam play, and he's it right in his wheelhouse, and Forsberg makes that look easy. That was a tough save. It's a positional save when you got somebody who can shoot the puck that hard from that distance out.
.56 seconds to go in the Montreal power play. Dvorak will take the draw against Stützle. And Dvorak kicked out, so it'll be Anderson against Stützle, who's getting more and more responsibility game by game. Pitlick back to Wideman, teed up by Ullinen, and the save made by Forsberg.
That's a shot you want to give if you have to give up a shot. Something from the outside, clear sight for the goaltender to take a peek and get across and adjust. You end up losing the draw. You mentioned Ullinen with a good one-timer, but it goes across the top of the umbrella. Wideman puts it on a tee, but there's nobody in front for any type of vision issue for Forsberg.
Wideman back for Ullinen. Dad played 7 years in the NHL, won a bronze medal in '98 Olympics in Nagano, the first year of NHL players at the Olympics. Here's Wideman. Try to swing that back across. The pass was broken up by Mott. Anderson back to Wideman. To Ullinen. 20 seconds to go with the power play. Ullinen looks in front for Dvorak. Gets tipped away by Zaitsev. Rem Pitlick back with it. Wideman tees it up and shoots. That deflected bouncing puck in front. Forsberg down. Makes the stop on Dvorak. And Mott was able to clear it out.
It was a good battle in front there to get that loose puck out as it was redirected by Josh Anderson, and then it was a battle to try and get the rebound away from Anton Forsberg.
3 shots for Montreal on that power play. Here they come again. Pizzotto with a shot. And Forsberg to save on that. Shots piling up now for Montreal. As Holden goes to center ice, kicked ahead by Joseph. Feeds it back down to the Canadian zone. Tkachuk goes after it. Slides that back to Brandstrom. Cross he goes. Shabbat shoots. Tipped in front by Stützle. And just missed with that. Now Tkachuk works it free. Slides that back around to Shabbat. Steps up and moves it by Belzile. Avi Pinard. For Pezzetta to Belzile. And Belzile slides that back to Savard. He winds his way in. Shabbat steps into Savard. Loose on the side of the goal. Here's Brandstrom with it. And Brandstrom off the glass back down to the Canadian zone. Jackeye goes back and Tkachuk gives him a hard run into the corner boards. And Jackeye's been a marked man here for Montreal. As Hamonic fires it down. And Tkachuk still barking at him from the Ottawa bench.
Those two big men going at it. And Jackeye tried the reverse hit, and Tkachuk skated right through him.
Here's Giroux. Winds it ahead for DeBrincat. DeBrincat spins it back in front. Kovacevic knocked that away. Ridley Gregg up ahead for DeBrincat. Moving in. Poke check there by Jackeye. Jackeye's been out there for 1:45 now, trying to get off. Hoffman moves in. And Jackeye will finally make his way to the Canadiens bench. Doc. Loose behind the goal. Pivots back on Gregg. Centers it. That's picked off by DeBrincat. He's at the end of a long shift. And Sanderson works it free.
Good end-to-end battle here so far, generating chances for both goaltenders to make saves. It's been a physical game as well. And
Sanderson gains center ice and fires that down off the end boards. It goes picked up by Batherson. Centers it and couldn't find Pinto. Now Brassard back on it. Harris with Kovacevic, but Batherson gets in and to knock it free. Batherson Knocks it free to Brassard. Kovacevic tries to poke it down. Now Zaitsev steps up for Ottawa. Lost a glove. And now has to retrieve. Got a penalty coming here. It'll be a tripping call to Montreal. And so Ottawa with 4:12 to go in the second period. We'll go to the power play. Jonathan Kovacevic goes off for the trip. 2-1 the score here in Montreal.
Jack guy. The physicality in the corner as Tkachuk finishes the body, and then Kovacevic comes over for a little conversation, and Brady says, take a lap. Not doing that. So it's a pretty good battle, and then the tripping penalty right there on Derek Brassard. And
Ottawa gets its 188th power play of the year, the most of any team in the NHL. Here's Stutzler, tries to sweep that back in front. Their 49 power play goals, second only to Edmondson, who have a really good power play. DeBrincat spikes it down. Lots of options. Shabbat, well, we'll see that in their next game. DeBrincat shoots. Allen makes the save on that. Bouncing puck on the side of the goal, knocked down by Savard. Kicked free by Stutzler. Back he goes for Shabbat. Thomas Shabbat. Back across Stutzler for DeBrincat. In, shoot, scores! Alex DeBrincat with a rocket. It's a power play goal, and Ottawa leads 3-1.
This is an absolute laser beam by DeBrincat, but this is all made possible by quick puck movement. Don't allow the goaltender to get set up. You don't allow the penalty kill to close off lanes. Back to the point right away. Shabbat's going to fake the shot down low and right through the seam by Stutzler. He doesn't wait, doesn't look for options. He knows exactly where he's going. On his stick, off his stick, and DeBrincat skates right into that, goes short side underneath the bar to give the Ottawa Senators a 3-1 lead. He got all of that, Gord. That was a laser beam.
That's power play goals in 4 straight for Ottawa. There's a conversation going on the Montreal bench. I wonder if Martin St. Louis is thinking of a challenge here. By the way, Alex DeBrincat loves playing as Jake Allen.
Oh, yeah?
7 goals in 12 games against him now.
There are certain guys that have your number.
Who had yours?
Too many guys to name, but Mike Knuble. Do you remember that name?
Yeah,
Knuble?
sure. Yeah, Detroit.
Every time that guy played against me, he seemed to find the back of the net.
Boston, too, right?
Yeah. I remember him in Philadelphia one time. But there's certain guys that just have your number. And
not Brett Hull, not...
Well, yeah, those are givens.
Okay.
I'm talking secondary scoring.
So DeBrincat picks up his 17th of the year. He scored just twice in his first 17 games of the year. 13 games rather of the year. But he's heating up now. In comes Gambrell with a shot that's tipped wide over the glass and out.
Well, Sens got some energy to their legs. A guy like Gambrell's getting an opportunity to show what he's capable of.
But you know, you made the point, Jamie, about the addition of Ridley Gregg and what it means for this team. You can have DeBrincat and Giroux on a line. You could have Stutzler and Tkachuk on a line. Pinto and Batherson on a line. Right. And suddenly the Senators have 3 lines.
With depth.
That can legitimately score.
Well, and let's add in Matthew Joseph and Tyler Mott, who missed extended time with injuries. That helps the depth and speed of your group.
Now Dvorak centers it. Pitlick swings that back around. It's tipped off by Batherson. And Brassard back the other way to Shabbat, driving the middle with Brassard. Derek Brassard. Lines that back down to Shabbat for Batherson. Shabbat has it poked away by Pitlick. Now Shabbat gathers it back up. Stutzler and Shabbat with the assists on the goal by Alex DeBrincat. And the Ottawa power play, which has been a story all year long, really emerging now as Ottawa tries to climb back into contention. But the issue is 5-on-5 scoring. Only Chicago has fewer 5-on-5 goals.
Yeah, you need to generate that. It's going to come with health and experience. And you mentioned a guy like Ridley Gregg gets plugged into the lineup.
Brady Tkachuk knocked that puck free. It's down for Stutzler, but the pass goes off a stick, up and out.
Follow the Sens behind the scenes all season with Breakaway, presented by Bell. Watch episodes at ottawasenators.com/breakaway.
Back here in beautiful Montreal. Just feels like hockey this time of year. By the way, Jamie.
Yes.
2 players lead the way with 8 goals on you in their career.
Please enlighten me.
Both Colorado Avalanche players.
But Joe Sack has got to be one of them.
Joe got you 8 times. Yeah?
Yes.
The other played more somewhere else, but finished up in Colorado. Suzuki drops it back. Harvey with a shot, goes up and out of play.
All right.
What do you think?
You said he played with somebody else.
Yeah.
Was it Solani or Korea or one of those guys?
Edmonton, Islanders. Very different than Sakic. Entirely different player than Joe Sakic.
Okay, so the Grinder. Grinder got 8 goals.
An Alberta guy.
Really? Ryan Smith?
Ryan Smith got you 8 times.
From 8 inches on.
If you took the entire distance of 8 goals,
yeah,
you might have like 2 feet.
He scored from in the crease all the time.
Sakic a little further out.
Yeah.
Long shot. Forsberg the save on that. I don't think being scored on by Joe Sakic 8 times is anything to be upset about. He scored on lots of guys.
You haven't said the amount of games I played against him. What if it was 2?
Well, you're in the same division for a while, so.
No,
when you were in Minnesota.
Yeah, he was a guy that, I mean, was so dangerous to play against, very scary, intimidating.
Well, and the great shot, right? The unbelievable release. And the one thing, you talk about Montreal and the possibility of getting the first pick.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard's release is being compared to Joe Sakic.
Well, quick, accurate. For me, Sakic was, and I say this with all due respect, one of the most underrated guys. Even though he's a Hall of Famer, I still don't think he got enough play with how amazing he was of a player. Not just because he scored on me so many times.
The all-time leader in playoff overtime goals.
Really? He was. Those Colorado teams were very intimidating. They've cycled back because that Colorado team's pretty intimidating now.
Pretty intimidating GM now.
Yeah.
Put together a pretty good team. He's now the president of hockey operations there. That's gloved by Forsberg, and he'll hang on to that. 1:21 to go here in the second period. We had a chance to visit with Montreal owner Jeff Molson before the game. Ran into him, and there's excitement here in Montreal. It's tempered by the injuries. Obviously, Yuri Slafkovsky, their first overall pick in last year's draft, injured. Cole Caulfield having surgery, but there's reason to believe that there's good things coming, and there's a plan in place.
Well, that's what it is. You lay out a plan, and if you're trying to stick to it, then people will buy into it. And that's why I get excited on the Sens side of the fence, because you're seeing right now the framework of a very good team, and then you're adding pieces to it with draft picks and free agent signings. Still decisions to be made, but Tim Stützle's 21 years old.
Yeah.
Ridley Gregg is young. You're looking at
Bernard shoots us blocked in front by Tkachuk. Looks ahead for Joseph.
Just the makings of a real quality team.
And we're just getting an idea now of the kind of players Stützle can become. We're not seeing the full package yet.
Agreed.
In comes Tkachuk now. In on Xhekaj, he bumped him down again. As that private battle continues. And Rafael Avi-Pinard brings it out. Knocked back by Suzuki. And in a city where they've sold the past for so long and celebrated it, the future pretty bright. Avi-Pinard gets it away. A penalty coming now as Avi-Pinard was taken down. And Montreal is going back to the power play with 29 seconds to go in the second period.
It could be Jake Sanderson for a trip as he takes away that grade A opportunity in front. Suzuki's going to skate right through, slide it to Harvey-Pinard. He tries to backhand it to himself and go on to the forehand, and Sanderson with a tap on the laces sends him down.
5th power play for Montreal in the game. Montreal 1 for 4 so far, 8 shots on goal. Mike Hoffman's had a bunch of good looks. Jake Allen has been great at one end, and Forsberg's been really good on Hoffman at the other. He also had a goal post.
But you don't want to continue to give them those types of looks, because Hoffman will eventually find the back of the net. He's that accurate of a shooter and brings it that heavy.
Gambrell wins the face-off, and Hamonic banks it back down the ice. Anton Forsberg has faced 101 shots in his last 4 games and allowed just 4 goals. Now Mock to the line, but not out. Knocked down by Matheson. Final seconds of the period. Hoffman shoots, scores! Mike Hoffman, power play goal. And Montreal's back within 1. And it just seemed like a matter of time until they got one.
I mean, I was saying it is, you mentioned a guy who could bring the puck so heavy, and you could tell that's their whole focal point. It's overload the one side. Now Mott can't get it out. It's batted out of the air by Matheson. So Matheson actually makes this whole play. Keeps the puck in and then puts it on a tee for Hoffman. There's a bit of a screen by Hamonic in the eyes of Anton Forsberg. Hamonic tries to block that. He doesn't get it. It goes blocker side on Forsberg, and we've got a game at 3-2 with 5 seconds left. Obviously, he'll be heading into the 3rd period, but the Montreal Canadiens have life.
So a late power play goal for the Canadiens, who've had extended power play time in the game. And Ottawa goes to the dressing room with a 1-goal lead. Tkachuk's back into a jack-eye.
Well, jack-eye gave a little flick of the puck towards Tkachuk.
And this has been bubbling for the first 40 minutes of the game and will likely continue.
Well, Tkachuk's not going to back down from anything, and you know, Arbor Jackie's shown that he's a tough customer as well. Here's what happens. It's off the draw. The puck goes right back to Jackie, and Tkachuk's going to pursue him. A little flick, the puck goes by him, and Chuck gives him a little extra, and the conversation begins. And you have to wonder that that's going to continue on into the 3rd period.
I would mark that down as likely. 3-2 Ottawa leads coming up. It's our 2nd edition with your host, James Duffy.
All right, thank you, Gordon. Sens fine 5-on-5 right now, but those 5 power plays to the Habs starting to hurt. MJ, Dregs, have all your details from the 2nd period. Plus, we'll look around the National Hockey League. Adrian Kempe's having a season. 2 more tonight for LA. Highlights are forthcoming. Alex DeBrincat now has 17 in his first year as an Ottawa Senator. That one gave the Sens a 3-1 lead. It's 3-2 now. Here's DeBrincat with Gord.
Alex, the Ottawa power play continues to sizzle. What's the key to the success here?
Yeah, I think just moving the puck quick. Get a lot of shots there. We got good bodies in front of the net, and you know, hopefully they go in. So it's been working for us lately.
I'm not sure if everyone understands how difficult it can be to switch teams. You had a real comfort level in Chicago. How long did it take to get comfortable with Ottawa?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, the guys welcomed me in right away, and it was pretty easy in that aspect. But obviously, you know, learning new systems, learning how guys play, and took a little bit. But you know, here now, and you know, playing with some really skilled players, so it's been fun.
How would you describe this team's confidence level right now?
Yeah, it's been a lot better. I think we're hanging on to pucks a little bit more, playing faster, and it's obviously going in the net a little bit more for us. So it's been good.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep, thanks.
Good stuff.
About a half dozen really good opportunities for Ottawa before they get that one. There's Mike Johnson and Darren Dreger. Lots of skill, lots of puck movement, and a little bit of bending of the rules.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if you're Rubin's race, you're not cheating, you're not trying. And I think there's a reason why Ottawa has one of the best power plays in the league, because they understand where you need to go to be successful is through the box. If you just work around the edges, you'll get your scoring chances. But the best chances come when you go through the box. And watch Brady Tkachuk right here engage with Suzuki. Kind of gets in his way and shoves him the wrong way, which pushes him a little bit out of position and opens up this massive lane. Now, this is really skill play. Quick pass, and an even better shot. But the reason why that lane is open because Suzuki gets caught out a little higher than he wants to get to because Brady Tkachuk wisely kind of rides him in a spot where he doesn't want to go. That's what good power plays do. They make you go to spots you don't want to go to, and then they take advantage.
Yeah, and obviously no fault on Jake Allen there. I mean, it's a perfect shot, great setup by the Ottawa Senators. And this one has to feel, if you're in that Ottawa dressing room, that it's closer than it needs to be, right? I mean, we had a pack all lined up to talk about Jake Allen, and then there's some developments that push that aside. But, I mean, it should be a 2-3 goal deficit by now, and it's not. And it's tight going into the third because of the Montreal power.
Well, you finally get to Allen, and you finally get that 2-goal lead back, and maybe looks comfy going into the second. And once again, another penalty, and this one comes back to bite you.
This one hurts. When you're a penalty killer, you need to know the situation. You need to know the clock. Tyler Mott, good defensive forward. He gets the puck on his stick. There's like 6 seconds left, and he's not able to clear it out. Mike Hoffman has been peppering one-timers all game long, shot after shot. He's wearing out his sticks and Anton Forsberg's shoulders with all these attempts. So finally, here's Mott after all these different looks and turns it over, and eventually Mike Hoffman finds a way to power it by Forsberg. This is so late in the period here, so if you can't get this out, you can always just shoot it to the corner. Like, shoot it back to the boards. Anywhere but turning it over. You could sit on it, and nothing would happen, but Mott turns it over, and they give it to the guy who has slowly but surely been adjusting his sights to find one past Forsberg. The wrong time, the wrong guy to end up with a shot.
I'm not sure we've seen anything ticky-tacky called through 2 periods of play. I mean, maybe some questionable ones
High
in
sticks
terms
or
of the...
high sticks? I hit you in the head.
Exactly right. But if you're DJ Smith in this intermission, you're like, there have been 5 Montreal power plays to this point. Again, it goes back to this game is closer than it needs to be. But now we're looking forward to the third because you've seen kind of the back and forth between Brady Tkachuk and Arbor Xhekaj. Kovacevic has been involved. So it looks like emotions are going to pick up here in the third.
We're now 3 games and 2 periods into Ridley Gregg's rookie season with the Ottawa Senators. What are your impressions overall?
Well, we knew what he would be. Energetic, chippy, feisty, physical. You weren't sure if he'd be productive, and yet he was very productive playing in junior. He was very productive playing in Belleville, and he's been productive playing in Ottawa. Right from game 1, he has not looked shy about making plays, and he's not looked out of place at all, and he has the puck on his stick a lot. And that's what you love to see for a young guy stepping in there. Like, how much is he around it? And really, Gregg is around it all the time now. He looks like he has great chemistry with Giroux and DeBrincat. But I think that is the most positive sign, is that his skating and his puck awareness is really strong.
Well, he won't get a break, right? Everybody around the Ottawa Senators is going somewhere warm. Ridley Gregg's going to Belleville. That's where he's going later this week. But as soon as the All-Star break is over, guess where he's going to be? Where he is, and that's between DeBrincat and Claude Giroux at center ice in the second line.
Don't be surprised if he gets his first this period.
What's going to be more fascinating? Oh, a little Mystic Mike in there. It'll be fascinating to see what they do with him next year with Stützle and Norris and Pinto already up the middle. We promised you some highlights. There's only 2 other games going on tonight. Columbus and Washington is one of those. And Dregs with a little mini version of insider trading. Bo Horvat's now an Islander. Will he stay one long term? Tune into TSN tomorrow night because it is Connor Bedard who seems like he gets a hat trick and 5 points every game he plays right now. And the Regina Pats taking on the Calgary Hitmen. 9 Eastern, 10 Atlantic on TSN. We promised you National Hockey League highlights. We have them. Only 2 other games. Caps, Blue Jackets. Watch right side of your screen. Trevor Van Riemsdyk enters from a line change, fires, and it's in. 5th of the season, it's 2-0 Washington. But just 12 seconds later, Patrick Laine to Andrew Peeke goes off a couple of bodies before beating Charlie Lindgren. The Caps have a 3-2 lead in this one. They're through 2 periods of play. Kings and Canes, first period. Andrei Svechnikov to Brent Burns. Snipe. He has his 9th of the season, and it's a 1-0 Carolina lead. Second period, delayed penalty on Carolina. Anze Kopitar, man, he's still so good after all these years. To Adrian Kempe, beats Freddie Anderson for his 21st 1-1. Later, Kevin Fiala leads the 2-on-1. Little curl and drag, and Fiala has his 18th of the season. It's Purdy. 4-1, LA leads that one also after 2 periods of play. You see Insider Trading every Tuesday and Thursday on TSN. This is our mini version with Darren Dreger. So Bo Horvat is now an Islander, much to our chagrin. Please, GMs, wait a little, at least a little closer to the deadline. No, it makes sense for the Canucks, makes sense for the Islanders to get it done early. The question will now become, can Lou Lamoriello sign him long-term?
Well, Lou Lamoriello of the Islanders has said that that's his intent, right? They'd like to get Bo Horvat extended. Is there an immediate urgency to this? No, not necessarily, but if you are the Islanders, you would like to at least get that negotiation dialogue with Pat Morris of Newport Sports well underway. You go through the break, maybe Horvat plays a few games and you see what it feels like and go through the dance. But we do know, as Pierre LeBrun talked about in Insider Trading, that the Islanders would have been a team that Horvat and Camp would have looked like had he hit the open market in the summer. So it makes sense.
So they are open to talking about it. And now that Vancouver's made that first significant move, does it open up doors for more? And if Brock Besser, whose name has come up in trades forever, it seems like, what would make that happen? What's the key to a Brock Besser deal happening?
Well, it sounds like the Vancouver Canucks are going to have to continue to retain salary. They did a bit on the Bo Horvat deal to the Islanders, and teams want to know how much are the Canucks willing to retain. Well, if you're the Vancouver Canucks, you're saying, well, make an offer that justifies our interest in retaining some salary. So there is interest from NHL clubs in Brock Besser. That's not going to change between now and March 3rd, but there's also no guarantee, because he's under contract, that it gets done before the offseason. Meanwhile, you've got Thatcher Demko of the Canucks also hanging out there. He's hurt. They need him to get back healthy. But there's surprise, if not confusion, among Vancouver management as to where the speculation is coming from.
His name's come up.
It has.
Which would seem crazy, at least at the start of this season.
Right. They need him to be competitive. But if there's a crazy offer, I suppose anything would be considered, but unlikely.
We are through 2 periods of play in Montreal. That late goal by Hoffman has the Habs back within 1. We'll take one more break and get you back to Gordon Jamie for the third, with the Sens up by a goal.
I'm loving it. Alex DeBrincat has 4 shots in the game. He's got a power play goal. He made it 3-1. Mike Hoffman's got 5 shots in the game. He's got a power play goal. Now it's 3-2 in favor of the Senators. Gord Miller back with Jamie McLennan. And Jamie, as Ottawa tries to make a push for a playoff spot here down the stretch, it looks like Anton Forsberg is going to be a real big part of it.
Absolutely, and he has been a part of their little stretch here in the last couple of games. He's been fantastic, and in the second period, when Montreal continued to press, got some good looks on the power play, it was Forsberg that gave them an opportunity to stay in it. He made a couple big 10-bell saves again on Mike Hoffman, and as Montreal continued to press, he was a guy that was rock solid. And you're right, they're going to need Anton Forsberg here down the stretch as they're trying to pick up points night in and night out. And with the injury to Cam Talbot, Matt Sogard is up right now, but they want to run with him. And if the schedule is light, you give him an opportunity to just play games. You practice a secondary, and head coach DJ Smith basically had that situation at the start of the season with Cam Talbot and the 5-week injury. It was Anton Forsberg that had to carry the load. Well, that's going to be the situation in the next near future.
No penalties at the end of that exchange prior to the second intermission, but Tkachuk and Xhekaj are back out there against each other. They were jawing at the end of the period and jawing at the start of this one. And right away, icing called against Montreal. So Ottawa comes in with a pretty impressive record, 15-2 when leading after 2 periods of play. Trying to draw within 6 points of Pittsburgh for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. It's more about the target line than it is about how many points you are back.
Exactly.
There's multiple teams involved. Jake Sanderson drops it back to Hamonic, shoots at the goalpost. Dragging right off the pipe. So if the cut line projects to 95 points, that's what you're looking at.
Well, you've got to continue to chip away, but you're right. If you're 6 points back heading into a break, you're feeling pretty good.
In comes Matthew Joseph. And there's nothing Montreal would like to do more than put a stick in the spokes of team to try to make the playoffs. Chabot shoots. That's knocked away by Allen, who's been terrific tonight for Montreal. And here is Xhekaj with it. Xhekaj took a tough number in the game on Saturday. against Ottawa, the 5-0 loss.
Dash 4.
They would dash 4 in that one. Now, plus minus isn't always accurate, but you know, I mean, when you take one, you know it.
Yeah, absolutely. Players are aware of that, and you're right. It's not a full telltale stat, but it's still an ugly one when you look at the game sheet after the game and see an ugly number like that. Now, Travis Hamonic gets an opportunity to take a little peek on the iPad of what happened there. Tkachuk wins the draw. Sanderson's going to slide it over to Hamonic, and Hamonic just a quick little sneaky release on that, goes short side on Jake Allen. We talked about the standing score.
So you look at the teams that got to jump over. That's the issue, becomes how many teams you have to get past. But
the beauty of it is you're going to be playing a lot of those teams, so those would be 4-point games.
Zaitsev fires it around. Now Giroux back on it. Spotted his 20th goal in the first period. Centers up for DeBrincat. That was knocked away. Now Chabot. Chabot shoots, up floats wide. Bounces back. Giroux with a sharp angle shot, and Allen had to be quick with that. Here is Zaitsev with it. Zaitsev shoots, goes off the skate of Gregg. Now Giroux with a chance, put it high. Claude Giroux back with it. Passes back for Chabot. The pass skipped away from him.
Claude Giroux's playing some fantastic hockey right now. He's producing, but the puck seems to be following him around.
Not sure what more Ottawa could have wanted out of that free agent signing. He's been a great mentor to young players. He's been productive.
Yeah.
He's brought steadiness and leadership.
And he's got fire, too. You can see how hard he competes.
He actually joked about it with us between periods recently about smashing a stick on the boards and having to gather himself back up. He said he usually passes quickly. And here's Hoffman with it. Back in the corner, picked up by Brassard. Drops it back to Brandstrom. There's Brandstrom's first NHL goal was scored against Carey Price. But he's got 119 without one. Last goal scored against Calgary.
Got to weigh on you a little bit. He's a guy, and I know head coach DJ Smith would like him to shoot the puck or get his pucks through from the point a lot more.
Weidman tied up by Mott at center ice. And Matheson threads out ahead for Pezzetta. That's broken up by Sanderson. And Belzil drops it back. There's been no lack of enthusiasm in Montreal games this year. Nope. Here's Stutzler with it. Rink wide he goes to Tkachuk. Chip back down to the Montreal zone. Savard goes back and Tkachuk steps hard into him. And then Tkachuk fighting from behind by guess who? Jack-Eye. And they're eyeing each other up. Tkachuk, here he comes. And he gives Jack-Eye a late shot as he heads off the ice. Something's going to happen between those two before the end of the game.
Yeah, I would argue that as well.
Suzuki up ahead for Harvey Pinard, taken up by Chabot. Anderson centers in a quick shot there by Suzuki. Good stop by Forsberg.
That was a real sharp play, and Suzuki is able to get a lot of that and got it off quickly as well, but Forsberg, good save.
Stolen by Anderson, skated by the puck. Chabot comes back for it. Pokes it back around. Here's Gregg waiting for it. Up ahead for DeBrincat. Gregg was dumped there by Harvey Pinard. A quick shot by Anderson. Save made by Anton Forsberg.
We talked about Brady Tkachuk and Barber Jack-Eye going at it. And Tkachuk not happy with the refs as he felt that Jack-Eye took advantage of the collision here with Savard. And that hit sends him to the ice. He didn't like that one, so tracks the puck back, goes shoulder on shoulder, and that's the extended conversation with Justin St. Pierre, the referee.
Now Gregg kicking at it. Sanderson looked ahead for DeBrincat. That's knocked down by Dadonov. For Matheson moving in. He was shadowed there by Gregg. Peter Smith has no problems with Gregg on the ice against anyone.
Well, he's starting to gain some of the trust of the head coach, and he hasn't played a lot in the National Hockey League, but he's certainly a responsible player.
Hoffman plays that down. Here's Sanderson back with it. Picked up by Hamonic. And Sanderson plays it back. And that was kept alive by Dadonov. Now Brassard. Lead pass for Batherson. Greg Batherson moves in. And Barron, his fellow Nova Scotian, knocked him off the puck. In fact, last summer, Batherson texted Justin Barron and invited him to the skate. The Nova Scotia skate. That's Crosby, McKinnon.
Pretty good skate.
Marchand. So Barron said he was pretty excited to get that invitation. They're looking for goalies, Jamie, if you want to strap on the gear.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Threw my pads in the river at the end of my career.
Your confidence might get dented by that group.
100%. Skating with those guys would be fun, maybe once.
Now side of the goal, goes off a skate. Forsberg steered that away. Now Branson plays it around. Gambrell races to it. And Dylan Gambrell shields off Pitlick, plays it back to center ice. Pitlick steals it back, goes across to Dvorak. Rink wide pass for Pitlick moving in. Anderson back after it, and here's Gambrell. Moves out with Mott and Kelly, that's banked back down to the Montreal zone.
Canadians trying to turn up the pressure a little bit, looking for that equalizer. Sen's doing a good job of trying to keep the puck away from that home plate area.
In comes Justin Barron jumping right in. Poke check there by Chabot. No, Harvey Pinard with a shot and a glove save made by Forsberg. It remains 3-2 Ottawa, and Forsberg keeps it that way on Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN.
About a head-to-head battle between Brady Tkachuk and Arber Xhekaj, and started early on and hasn't let up. Neither one of them big guys who can handle themselves don't want to give an inch of ice, and Tkachuk did not like the last interaction as he had some choice words for referee Justin St. Pierre. You take a look at Arber Xhekaj's body of work. Check the Wi-Fi.
So his nickname is Wi-Fi because his last name looks like one of those randomly generated passwords you would use that no one would ever be able to hack.
It is it's a brilliant nickname.
Barron plays it back. Batherson shoots, that goes wide. Forsberg sweeps out of side. Here's Suzuki, plays it back around to Matheson. 7 gone here in the third period. Matheson shoots, blocked in front by Zaitsev. Loose puck. Harvey Pinard trying to pull it out. Chabot's on it, still bouncing around. And Greg pokes it back ahead, trying to find a Brinkett streaking ahead. And Suzuki plays it back down to the Ottawa zone. Ottawa needs these 2 points badly.
Yeah, if you want to stay in the hunt, these are critical points on the road, but you need to keep the confidence going and really the ball rolling in the right direction.
Ottawa looking for his third 4-game winning streak of the year. Joseph tried to set it up. Forrest Clifford knocked away by Hoffman. And Mike Hoffman moves in. Sanderson ranges back. Bouncing puck in the corner. Tkachuk goes after it. He and Jack out there against each other again as Stützle moves it up. In comes Tim Stützle. Cut up by Dadonov, and now Sanderson rather back with it. Tkachuk plays it back down in the Montreal zone. Allen back for it. Savard. Lead pass. Branson retreats now as Pitlick moves in. Belzil flies that back to Xhekaj. Rink wide pass picked off by Brandstrom. Move back down to Montreal zone. Batherson goes after it, trying to work that free. Brandstrom sends it back in deep. And now he'll have to play it. Bounced awkwardly away from him.
That could have easily hit the stanchion and came out front as well.
Belzil has it knocked away by Pinto for Batherson. Pinto ranges back. Loose puck in front, swept away by Brandstrom and back to center ice. Pitlick on it. Bobs that back down to the Ottawa zone, and Brandstrom retreats to pick it up. Brandstrom gains center ice, plays out ahead. Knocked down by Mott, but played back ahead. Here's Josh Anderson busting in on Zaitsev. Anderson shoots, puts it that high. Suzuki belts down Zaitsev. Zaitsev back up, gets the puck ahead to Mott. And Arby Pinard back ahead to Suzuki for Anderson. Poke check there by Shabbat. And a very brisk third period approaching the midway point.
Been a high pace, some physicality, a couple of good chances at both ends.
Dadonov leaves it back for Matheson. An injury-ravaged year for Matheson. Missed 34 games with 3 separate injuries. Now Dadonov pokes it back for Doc. Kirby Doc works loose in the corner. Doc spins that back on the line as Xhekaj shoots. That's blocked by Stützle. Tkachuk looks ahead. That pass brought down by Savard. And Xhekaj with it. Rink wide for Doc. Skates by Gregg. Now moving it is Hoffman with a shot. Forsberg the save. Bouncing puck at the side of the goal, picked up by Tkachuk. And Brady Tkachuk leaves that for Joseph, but the play's offside at the Montreal line. In the shadow of the legends, we're in Montreal as Ottawa leads 3-2 on Canadian Tire Senators hockey on TSN. Performance part of the game.
Well, it's Tim Stützle, who's been fantastic tonight. Finds the back of the net early on a beautiful pass by Matthew Joseph, and then a great pass through the seam to Alex DeBrincat. But we've seen him take another step this year, Gord. I think he's going to be a star in this league if he's not already. He's just scratching the surface, forced into the #1 center role based on the injury to Josh Norris. A real good job.
Here's Matheson with it, throws it back down to the Montreal zone. Kovacevic goes back, and Brassard stepped into him. Suzuki lost his stick, but kicks the puck around. And Harris plays it back ahead to Suzuki. Nick Suzuki pivots back on Pinto. Now Shabbat with it. Knocked down by Anderson, drops it back. Suzuki centers and scores! Arby Pinard tips it home, and the game is tied.
This all starts with pressure off the forecheck. Shabbat looking for options, tries to get it up the wall. It's picked off by Josh Anderson, and a beautiful pass by Nick Suzuki to find Harvey Pinard on the back door as he gets inside position on Shabbat. And a little redirect on the forehand, but all made possible by Josh Anderson turning that puck over on the wall. Suzuki with a beautiful seam play, and we've got a tie game with 8:58 left.
Raphael Harvey Pinard always dreamed of scoring a goal in Montreal. Well, he's got 4 this year, all of them scored here in 7 games since being called up.
He's a nifty little player.
He had 21 goals in Laval last year in the American Hockey League. So Suzuki draws the assist. And Montreal gets an even straight goal. Now DeBrincat knocked down, penalty coming to the Canadians, and DeBrincat slow to get to his feet. Gathers the puck back up. He's heading to the bench, so drops it off to Tkachuk, centers it. That's knocked away, picked up now by Ylönen, and Ottawa go to the power play here. It'll be a boarding call with 8:13 to go in the period.
This is a dangerous hit, the way that DeBrincat goes into the boards. Barron gets a push right on the numbers, and that's in that 4-foot zone, Gord. He goes hard in right there and gets his hands up at the last second, but you could tell immediately in some discomfort. able to get up and get to the bench.
So Barron goes off. Ottawa goes to his third power play. The Sens are 1 for 2. They've scored power play goals in 4 consecutive games and need one here.
This is exactly what they need. Get their power play going. It's been really sharp as far as moving the puck around. You get an opportunity, but you don't want to see a hit like that whatsoever.
Face off, won by Suzuki away from Tkachuk. And sent back down to the Ottawa zone. DeBrincat back out there. Up for Stützle, cross for Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk banks that back for Chabot. Cross he goes to Batherson. Ottawa gets in position. Stützle back to Chabot. Winds it back across. Stützle in, shoots, scores! Tim Stützle, power play goal. And Ottawa's back in front.
This is a great setup. I'm not sure if Tkachuk gets a piece of this in front, but either way, this is all about Stützle and the exchange at the top of the umbrella on the power play. Low to high. Chabot over to Batherson. Chabot back to Stützle. And then Tkachuk causing havoc, gets in the eyes of Jake Allen. And this goes by Tkachuk on the blocker side of Allen, but it's a good heads-up play by Stützle.
Oh, what a shot.
And that just finds a hole.
So Stützle with 2 goals in the game, now has 12 in his last 18. And there's a big power play goal, another one for Ottawa.
Strong power play, and you take advantage of an opportunity.
And Montreal's penalty-killing woes continue.
It's been a struggle for them, 29th in the National Hockey League.
Ottawa's got 2 power play goals on them so far tonight. They've allowed 12 power play goals in the last 22 opposition attempts.
It's not good enough.
Hamannik up for Gray. Backhands at the center ice. Now lead pass for Joseph knocked away, and Barron back out. So a costly penalty for Justin Barron. And now Hoffman. Slides it ahead for Doc. Picked up by Zaitsev. Gambrell brings it back out. Chips it back ahead. And the play called icing against Ottawa. Officials conferred, decide it wasn't icing, so the faceoff will be at center ice. And Chabot carefully gains center and plays that back in. Inside 7 to go in the third period. Pitlick moves it ahead. Chabot knocks it down. So these are the moments you talk about, Jamie, that you want to see for a young team. In a tight game, we need the win.
Can you close it out?
Drop back, that's knocked away from Ylönen. And Gambrell lifts it back down to the Montreal line. Took a funny bounce. And Harris plays that across.
Gord, the biggest challenge is not to sit back. You've got to manage the puck wisely, but you also have to be aggressive. And to me, these are the lessons that you're talking about for this young team, Ottawa Senators team.
Senators have now scored 15 goals in the last 3 games. Hamannik plays it around to Tkachuk. Harvey Pinard centers it for Anderson. Poke check there by Jake Sanderson. Harvey Pinard shoots. Save made, rebound, score! Harvey Pinard again, and the game is tied again. What a run he's on. 5 goals in 7 games since being called up.
And he gets a freebie. Now this all starts in the defensive zone for the Montreal Canadiens. A stretch pass to Harvey Pinard through the middle of the ice. Now the Sens, it's a turned over puck right in the home plate area. The initial shot, Forsberg makes a save, but he loses track of it and pushes from right to left. Matthew Joseph has to get a stick on that puck through the middle of the ice. He does a little drive-by. That allows the initial shot. and then no chance on the rebound for Anton Forsberg, and we've got a tie game with just over 5 minutes left.
He scored his NHL debut last year in Tampa. He has 6 goals in 11 career games, a 7th-round pick in 2019.
Pretty impressive the run he's on.
Yeah, all 5 goals scored here in Montreal this season. So once again, the game is tied. Anderson draws an assist. And icing called against Ottawa.
Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Bell 5 TV, now with voice control and thousands of apps. And by your Ford Dealers of Ontario, proud sponsor and fan of the Ottawa Senators.
Face-off was won by Pinto in the defensive zone. And now Patterson rings it back down to the Montreal end. Canadians looking to avenge a 5-0 loss to Ottawa on Saturday night. 5 to go here in the 3rd period.
Well, this is a lively building, lively game. It's been a seesaw battle tonight.
Play called offside at the Ottawa line. So Tim Stützle restores the Ottawa lead to 4-3, but Raphael Harvey-Pinard having himself a week. He's got 2 tonight. His young career has a bit of a running feud with the Montreal Canadiens. Take it back to last April.
It was a bad hit by Suzuki, and then they one-on-one battle with Gallagher. Stützle comes up swinging, and you know that Brendan Gallagher likes to get underneath the skin of his opponents. Stützle talked about it this morning, of being booed by the fans and being engaged by them, and gets up for games like this.
Now picked up by Petlik, drops it back, Belzile with a shot, put it just wide. To bring it back on it. Now Matheson turns it over. Greg trying to work that free. 4.5 to go in the 3rd period, a 4-4 tie. All 3 games tonight in the NHL are tied.
It's been a battle, but a lot of these teams are going on break after, so they're giving what they can.
In comes Belzile, he gets loose, and Greg steps into him. Belzile snaps that back, barely a shot. Goes off the stick of DeBrincat. That appeared to break DeBrincat's stick. Something came off. Belzile shoots him a sharp angle. That goes wide. Here's Greg back with it. Matheson, the return pass missed. And both teams will change.
We'll see who's up to the task here in the last 4 minutes for the game winner.
Anderson pokes out ahead. Josh Anderson hard after it. Gets around Shabbat. Joseph steps into him. Josh Anderson with a head of steam back for Jack-Eye with a long shot. And the save made by Forsberg.
Anton Forsberg just wants to slow things down, as it's been a huge battle here in the 3rd period. A lot of traffic, and Montreal's thought process, just get everything down to the front of the net, jam away for rebounds, as Harvey-Pinard got a freebie on the back door.
DJ Smith with his lucky purple tie on. Drew wins that draw. The shots are 9-2 Montreal here in the 3rd. Suzuki. Rink wide to Jack-Eye, tees it up and shoots. Forsberg save. Bouncing puck in front. Great chance. Poked wide by Suzuki. Anderson back on it. Montreal over Ottawa here in the late stages now, as Savard goes back for it. Suzuki. Bumped by Joseph. Works that free. Up and he goes for Gambrell. In for Brassard. Shoots. Allen makes the stop. Shabbat races to it. He spins and fires. Allen the save. Quickly corrals the rebound.
We got a lively building. Gore chances at both ends. And the goaltender's getting some opportunity to shine as well. Starts with a little play. Jack-Eye throws it towards the net. Big rebound, bouncing rebound, short hop. Suzuki just misses the net, and then the other way, a potential 2-on-1 situation. Brassard tries to go 5-hole on Allen. And then the rebound shot, he's had enough to slow things down.
Off the draw, chance there for Batherson, turned away by Allen. Rebound just out of the reach of Gambrell. Back down to Brassard, he centers it. Hoffman got a stick on it. Hamonic plays it back in. Gambrell hard after it. And Doc pokes it ahead. Dadonov looks ahead. Sanderson knocked down away to Gambrell. Kirby Doc picks it back up. Doc drops it back to Hoffman, couldn't pull the trigger. And Batherson was almost off to the races. Doc moves around Greg, but really Greg gets it back. Chips that back ahead. Greg knocked down Harris. Now Doc goes back across. The play's onside. Forsberg back around for Hamonic. Lead pass to Greg. Inside 2 to go here in the third period. Giroux plays it ahead. And Zaitsev swings it back across to Shabbat. Out to center ice. Harris back to pick it up. Jordan Harris. Across he goes to Kovacevic. Rolls down to Forsberg. Across he goes to Zaitsev. Snaps that pass to center ice. Joseph drops it back to Stützle. In stride with Tkachuk. Stützle. Tkachuk shoots. Scores! Brady Tkachuk fires it home. 1:18 to go, and Ottawa's grabbed a 5-4 lead.
And you see Brady Tkachuk with the finish. This hits the stick of David Savard and changes angles, but this is all about a smart play in the defensive zone. Zaitsev up the wall, Joseph a bump back, and Stützle takes a middle angle for himself and slides it over to Tkachuk, and he does the rest. And it's a 5-4 Senators lead with $1:18 left. Pretty high event game, and you see Tkachuk with the belt symbol.
So Montreal calls timeout here.
Timmy Stützle having a conversation with some of the fans as well, looking up, but absolute stunner here at 4-4 to get the go-ahead goal. But that's all about a set play from the defensive zone, Gord. A good play by Zaitsev, and then the bump back play by Joseph to allow Stützle to skate into it with speed.
Ottawa 3 goals on its last 7 shots. So Stützle
directing traffic. He wants it with speed. You get tremendous speed through the neutral zone. You wind it up, and then you kick it wide.
And look at Stützle talking to the fans in the celebration. Oh,
well, they've got you got a lively fan that's handing out a couple birds, but Stützle saw that. Little reaction on that as he's got the gauze up to one side of his nose. So see General Manager Pierre Dorion and his staff.
All right, so here we go. 1:18 to go in the third period. We'll see Allen come to the Montreal bench as Doc shoots it in. On comes Hoffman as the extra skater. Matheson worked it free, banked out by Giroux, and back down to the Montreal zone. Stützle draws an assist on the goal, so Stützle 2-2 tonight. Fired back down the Montreal zone. And the 4 points for Stützle, tie a career high. Picked up by Giroux. Looks ahead for Stützle. Picked up by Tkachuk. Up for Stützle, the pass just missed. Hoffman knocks it back ahead. 40 seconds to go here in the third period. Josh Anderson busting in. That pass picked up by Giroux. Henri Pinard plays it back. Suzuki. To the line is Matheson. Back for Suzuki. Walks in, waits. Feeds that back, Matheson. For Suzuki. Hoffman's teed up for a one-timer on the other side of the ice. Doc. Suzuki. Works it and fires. Forsberg knocks that away. Bouncing puck in front. Forsberg's got it. He'll hang on with 14.5 seconds to go in the third period.
This had a lively bounce. It came right back off the boards as Montreal with the extra attacker. Suzuki throws it down to the net. looking for any type of option. Him and Doc play a little catch, steps in, little redirect, and now comes back off the boards. Forsberg wants to slow things down, but Montreal looking for the equalizer, only have 14.5 seconds left to do so. I think Ottawa's going to call a timeout.
Ottawa's going to give these guys a breather.
You know, Gord, I wanted to point out, too, with 2 minutes left in the third period, Ridley Gregg's on the ice.
Yeah.
Like these are moments that are very valuable for young players. Even a guy like Jake Sanderson's out here defending a lead. And I know he's been a fantastic player and a star player, but he's 20 years old. Tim Stützle, 4-point night. He's 21. Just the type of experience guys are getting on the job. You know, surrounded by veterans, Nick Holden and Hamonic and Zaitsev, guys who are north of 30, but you've got the youngsters that are really contributing.
Well, Tim Stützle is really emerging. Or think about this, in his first 3 NHL seasons, Leon Draisaitl had 137 points.
Yeah.
Tim Stützle has 136.
Wow. And you could, I mean, we all know how dominant Draisaitl is, and
as you said, we're just seeing...
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface, legitimately.
So Giroux for the face-off against Dvorak. Scramble draw controlled by Ottawa. Hamonic chops at it. Dvorak looks back for Doc. Final seconds now of the period. Matheson shoots. That got through it just wide. Suzuki back on it. Time winding down. He centers it. Knocked away by Hamonic. Doc shoots. That was blocked in front by Tkachuk. And Ottawa will skate away with a 5-4 win for its 4th straight win entering the All-Star break.
Wow, what a hard-fought battle as the Canadians continued to push in the third period for the equalizer. Brady Tkachuk delivers the game winner with $1:18 left, but a spirited game, a game full of emotion, and gave the fans their money's worth tonight. You mentioned the Senators on a heater here heading into the break, a well-deserved break, but might be one where they like to extend a few more games with how well they're playing and with a ton of confidence.
Now 6 points back of Pittsburgh for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. And Ottawa sweeps both ends of the home and home. And here are tonight's Molson 3 stars. Tim Stützle ties a career high with 4 points. Raphael Harvey-Pinard has been unbelievable since being called up. He's got 5 goals in 7 games for Montreal. And Thomas Chabot, on the day he found out he's going into the St. John Sea Dogs Hall of Fame, chips in with 3 assists. Next stop for us on Canadian Tire Senators Hockey will be after the All-Star break as the Sens play host to Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers on February 11th. For Jamie McLennan and all of us at TSN, I'm Gord Miller. Thanks for tuning in to Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN. Now stand by for SportsCenter.
Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. top leagues and tournaments, and the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus.